Yo, what's up, people? We're gonna get this rolling over here. Two, one, go. Yo, what's up, people? Welcome again to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, Matt Butala. You know what time it is, and we're joined today, of course, by my niece. Say hi.
Hi,
Her name is Imani. What's her name?
Money.
hmm And we're gonna be talking about self-belief, a little bit about that today. It's gonna be short, sweet, to the point, but it is the episode that you're gonna need for a Monday. If Mondays are usually rough for you, what's good, Zach? What is up? You know what time it is. All right, so let's get this going. Let us get this going. All right. All right, people. Let's do this. So, we're going to be breaking down the podcast episode in a couple of seconds. You know the deal. You are more than welcome to ask questions if you want, and I'll be answering them at the end of the podcast episode. Happy Monday, big dog. You know what time it is. All right, so we'll be breaking it into the podcast episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day, and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your returning champion, IFBB PRO Matt Butala, coming at you with another topic. And today, I'll be talking about the power of self-belief to help you tap into your inner potential. All right. So that's the gist of today's episode. It is a Monday for the day that I'm recording this, and for those that are actually watching this live. So this might be the perfect timing to work on your mindset, given that most people struggle with, getting consistent or at least picking up the ball off of the weekend on a Monday. All right. So I'm going to basically tell you what I think, or at least how I apply this, and then you can take whatever you want from that to apply it to your own life if you want to get some of these the benefits of actually believing in yourself, or at least believing in yourself a little bit more, right? Because I don't ever think, and like this is even me personally, after I've accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish, it doesn't just mean like I always believe in myself forever. Like, definitely, there are times where that dips, there are times where that increases, but the whole point of it is to be in more control than you're not in control, right? So that you can allow yourself to do things that you know you need to do in order to get to where you need to go without having to, we'll say, suffer, not always, being in the right frame of mind. All right. So let's break it down. All right. What I do, and I'm just going to give you like sort of my approach, what I do to help with developing or building my frame of mind when it comes to, developing my mindset is pretty much staying in a positive state almost by force. And that sounds weird, but I'm going to give you one trick that has worked for me, but I'll be honest with you, it may not work for everybody because not everybody's, wired the same when it comes to, we'll say, uh, building their own self-belief or motivating themselves. One thing that I like to do, and if you're watching this on the live stream, you'll see I'm holding a book in front of you guys and girls. It's a little journal. One thing that I like to do, and again, as I said, this does not work for everybody, is I like to sometimes write down some affirmations, write down some words of encouragement to myself. And I don't just write them down. I'm sort of thinking about the things that I would struggle with believing in myself with, like whatever it is. Like, for example, leading up to my competition, it was like I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to achieve, and that was getting the pro card, right? So I'd write that down every morning. I'm an IFBB pro, I'm an IFBB pro, whatever, whatever. Write that down every single morning. And then not only would I write it down based off of what I feel like I lack in terms of self belief, but I would also read it out as, like it already happened. Like, I was training my mind to give myself conviction, based off of the work that I was doing. I would, when I say work, I'm talking about training in the gym and being on with my meals, being sharp and all that stuff. So outside of doing the actions that would allow me to believe in myself a little bit more, what I also did was reflect on the ideas that I was having, whether they were conscious or subconscious, and allow that to be sort of spoken into existence, if you've ever heard of the term, right? Speaking things to existence, manifesting things. That's pretty much what this journal was about, right? But as I said, guys and girls, just writing it down isn't going to be enough for you to actually, believe in yourself enough to get to the point where, you are able to improve, right? Because you don't just want to believe in yourself for the sake of it. You want to actually be able to do more than you thought you were able to do. And that comes basically, as you guys and girls should know, if you don't, I'm going to explain to you now, comes mainly from your actions. Mainly from your actions. There's nothing you could really do outside of change your actions that's really going to help you believe in yourself, right? Because, like, let's look at it. Let's just take an actual look at it. Like, a lack of self belief, when it comes to doing anything, is primarily rooted in a lack of practice. Like, the more you practice, technically, you feel a little bit more comfortable believing in the thing or in the project or in the end goal that you originally didn't, believe in as much. right? And it's not for no reason that it works like that. The more you actually do the thing that's going to allow you to get closer to whatever it is that you believe, the more confidence you'll have in that belief. And therefore, that will compound and allow you to reach a level of either dedication or consistency or momentum that is required in order for you to get that thing that you want. Whether that belief is, I believe that I want to make $1 million, or I believe that I want to win a competition, or whatever it is, right? We all struggle with self belief because we all struggle with actually practicing whatever it is, literally. And some of you guys and girls are saying, okay, well, what if it's not a goal? Like, what if like it's a state of mind? Like, what if I don't want to achieve a goal? I just want to believe in myself. Well, then it's pretty easy to look inwards and pick out some of the things that you think you lack, or some of the things that you wish you had, or some of the things that just make you feel bad. Look at those things and like inside, just spend some time with yourself, like actually reflect and say, okay, well, like what makes me feel inadequate? What makes me feel less than? What makes me actually so uncomfortable to the point where I actually don't believe in myself? I don't believe that I'm intelligent. Is it that? I don't believe that I look good. Is it that? I don't believe that I am trustworthy. Is it that? Like it could be anything. Your beliefs. It doesn't have to be that you believe you're able to, or you don't believe that you're able to hit a goal, or that you don't believe you're able to have some sort of either physical or monetary impact, right? It could go down to something as spiritual as like, do I believe in myself because I think I'm, or do I not believe in myself because I don't think that I'm worth it? Do I not believe in myself because I don't think I have the skills? Right. So if it's something like that and it's related to more of your emotions, then look at the way that you act. Okay, look at the way that you act, not just with like other people, but yourself. Like, are you the first person to always knock yourself whenever you make a mistake? And how long do you sit there and talk to yourself about your mistakes? Or at least we'll say like bathe in them mentally. Like, how long do you sit there and say, like, if you made a mistake, right? Say if you want to like lose some weight, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and you say, okay, well, for this entire week, I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to drink, water, more water than juice, and just some simple outlines for yourself. And then out of the 7 days, maybe 3 of those days, or 2 of those days, or even 4 of those days, you mess up. You have a pizza here and there, you have a burger, even though you said you didn't want to. So that the way you treat yourself whenever you say something and you're doing something opposite is going to pull down on your self belief, right? Does that make sense? So it's your actions. The main thing that's going to change the way you perceive yourself is the actions that you're constantly committing, not really what you say to yourself. Like you could say that I'm not that smart, even though you study a lot and you get fairly good grades. You're just being hard on yourself. Like if the truth would be in that scenario is that you are smart, you just wish you were smarter. So what would somebody that is smarter than you be doing? Studying, and studying is what? An action. So actions are what's going to allow you to believe in yourself more based off of the outcome of what you're inputting, and being able to look at that outcome or that result, and that result is growing, or at least leaning towards the direction you want to go in, right? Like I prime my mind to develop me into the man that I'm working to become. I am by no means perfect, and in a weird way it's almost ironic that I'm giving this advice, because I know I'm not perfect, but I do know what has worked because I have been in a worse scenario, a worse like frame of mind. And to get myself not even out of there, but to evolve, to succeed in things I didn't think I would succeed in, and to get to this point and to further beyond, I had to basically have that reflection. Okay, why do I feel this way? What am I doing to myself and to others? Do my actions align with how I feel? If they do, then why? What am I doing that's making me feel this way? And how can I change what I'm doing so I can feel another way? Because that's what it is. You're not just going to be able to sit there and think you're out your way out of the situation. You will have to take action and do those actions to get you out of that situation physically, so that mentally it would make sense for you to think in a more positive way because you have a more positive outcome. Does that make sense? Like when I prep my meals and I keep my nutrition sharp, other people where I stay fear touching my food because they know how much it means to me. It's very little about, oh, it's just this guy's meal. I'm going to eat that. Like they know that me eating that meal is a part of an action that I'm going to have to commit to if I want this set outcome. And that set outcome, at least before I even achieve it, if I'm doing the actions that are leading toward it, I can believe it in myself more, which is going to help me stick to it more. And if I can stick to it more, then I'm going to either get better results or results for a longer period of time or both. which is what you want, because that's truly how you develop self belief. It's the action, guys and girls. Like when I stay on my laptop for hours creating content and getting back to my network of people, others may view me as antisocial, but it's mainly what I view of myself. Like if that is something that makes me feel productive, and I can look at the results in my life, like with we'll say like the money that I'm making or the impact that I'm having, and that's like growing upwards, then my self belief for my ability to impact others or to make a better living with online coaching or whatever I'm doing is going to increase because my actions are congruent with that, right? Like think of it. It's almost like these kinds of things are right in our face all the time, but it's very, very, very rare that we change these scenarios because it's almost like we know the actions that need to happen, but there's like a level of fear that holds us back from committing to those actions for a long enough period of time where we actually do end up believing in ourselves in the end. Like guys and girls, like my goals still make me nervous. The goals that I've achieved made me nervous. The goals that I want to achieve will make me are making me nervous. They just do. And the truth is, if you aren't anxious, if you aren't nervous about what it is that you want to achieve or change in your life, chances are that thing is not big enough, or you just don't want it. And that's something you're gonna have to come to terms with on your own. I can't tell you what to want, what to not want, or how big to dream, right? But you know the feeling that you feel. And if it's a negative one tied to something that you want to achieve, then it's likely you do not believe in your own goal, or you don't believe in yourself that you're capable enough to actually achieve that goal. And as I said earlier on, as I'll say again, that's tied mostly to your actions and how your actions either do or do not align with your goals or your ability to potentially succeed with the goal. Okay, so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. That's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about today because it's very simple. There's not a lot that has to be said about when it comes to self belief. It's your actions. If your actions are out of alignment, it would be virtually impossible for you to have confidence in yourself because you already know you're not showing up to practice. How can you expect to win the tournament if you do not show up to practice? Right? It's like our body's defense mechanism. Don't go embarrass yourself by going to do that thing knowing you haven't prepared for that thing. Get my drift? Does that make sense? Because I hope it does. All right. So that's it. That's all. That's all I wanted to deliver to you guys and girls today. Don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast to your IG stories. If you're watching this on IG, if you're watching this on TikTok, share it out. You know what time it is. Let's embrace your inner me together. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. IFBB Pro Maputale signing out. Boom. All right. Podcast is recorded. I'm going to look at this one question I saw here on TikTok real quick. Somebody says, so Reed Bird says, don't want to go to school because I'm self-conscious. So that's the thing. You say you don't want to go to school because you're self-conscious. I say you're self-conscious because you don't want to go to school. Like you know you want to go to school, but what are the actions that you'd have to commit in order to get to school, right? And you're self-conscious about those actions because if you want to go to school, which is why not going to school is making you self-conscious. So in order to not be self-conscious, you'd have to be going to school, which is the action, going to school. And what steps might you have to take? I don't know. If it's just an application, what kind of school it is, what program it is, I don't know. You know that, right? And based off of what you know, you have to do those actions, not big steps, just literally any step in that direction, which is going to help you undo being self-conscious. And let's say you even get to school, right? You get to school and you're self-conscious, you get to school anyway. The action of going to school might not be enough. Like what else makes you self-conscious about school or just in general, right? And you can put a list down, write a list down of things that actually make you uncomfortable or self-conscious. Maybe it's social settings because school is a social setting. Um, and many other things regarding school. Maybe it's grades, right? And you're going to have to literally backtrack and take actions, small, not big actions. If you can do big actions, that's good, but small, consistent actions that will help you develop the skills in order to truly believe in yourself. And the only way to truly believe in yourself and develop those skills is again by action. You develop those skills by practicing, by studying, whatever it is that you have to do specifically. And over time, as the results compound and you see better things happening, like better outcomes being the result of your efforts, just looking at the result is what's going to make you start to think in your head, okay, maybe I'm meant for this. Maybe I can do this. Like I'm doing this already. Like it's working. Something's happening. Something positive is happening based off of the actions that I'm contributing towards this thing. And that's how you get the self belief. You never just really wake up and believe in yourself. And there's some people that can do that. Power to them. I don't know how people can do that, but like myself, it doesn't work that way. I like to think a little bit more realistically when I'm thinking of like achieving anything. Like I don't want to just go and say, well, I think I deserve to win, so I'm just gonna win. I'm like, no, well, I want to win. That's the first thing. And if I feel like I'm not gonna win, it's because I know that I'm not doing what I think I would need to do in order to win. Right? It's all based in action. Like we can sit here and talk all day about what I mentioned before when it comes to the book or the journal, like journaling, writing down all that stuff. Like that can help. But the best fucking cure for lack of self belief is literally action. Action to do the things that you don't think you're capable of doing on a small scale over and over until you get positive results, and then continue to compound that over time. That's the best cure for to develop, in my opinion, a better self belief system. All right. So that's it. That's all, guys and girls. That's all I have to share with you guys and girls today. I hope that you had an amazing weekend and that you're willing to start off this weekend or this week with a bang coming out of the weekend. All right. So this is the episode I wanted to deliver. I want you guys and girls to get your head on your shoulders and focus for this week. Again, if you are lacking self belief, you're not really lacking self belief. You are lacking practice. Okay. So make your actions line with your words, and the results of that outcome will help you build more self belief and confidence. All right. Peace, love, and protein. Matt Butale, IFBB Pro, signing out. Boom.